Hello and welcome to the course of manufacturing method, and this will be your last lecture of the machining process, and after this lecture we will start joining process. Okay, so now in this lecture the we will start. One second. Okay. Now today we will talk about milling and other finishing processes or finishing machining processes and CNC or computer numeric control machining. So milling, what is milling? Milling is a machining operation in which work is fed past a rotating tool with multiple cutting edge. That means in case of milling, the primary cutting motion is given to the cutting tool, while the workpiece is fed into that cutting tool. That means the in case of milling, what is the difference between milling and previously we have discussed about turning? In case of turning, the primary cutting motion is given to our primary cutting motion is given to the workpiece, and while the feed is given to the cutting tool. But in case of milling, the feed is given to the cutting to the workpiece, and primary cutting motion, that is rotating motion of the milling cutter, is given to the cutting tool. So this is the difference. So again, what is the primary cutting motion in case of milling? In case of milling, the primary cutting motion will be given to the rotary motion is the primary cutting motion is the rotary motion of the milling cutter, and feed motion is the feed motion is the here and the feed motion is the reciprocating motion of the workpiece. So axis of tool rotation is perpendicular to the feed direction. Here in case of milling, axis of tool rotation will be the perpendicular to your feed direction, and in case of milling it creates a planar surface. Milling can create a planar surface, and other geometry can be possible either by the cutter path or shape. So some other factors and the terms are: milling is an interrupted cutting operation. It is not a continuous cutting operation, but it is a interrupted cutting operation. And cutting tool here is called milling cutter, and cutting edges of the milling cutter is known as teeth. So it is a milling cutter. This milling cutter is a multiple point cutting tool, and each and every cutting tool edges is known as teeth. And the machine tool where the milling operation is done, that machine tool is nothing but called milling machine. Now we will see about, there are two type of the milling. There is, first one is peripheral milling, second one is face milling. By peripheral milling, what is done, the thickness of a square workpiece is reduced. The thickness is reduced. That means the cutting of the planar surface can be done by peripheral milling, and by your face milling, the cutting action in this case, the speed motion is in this direction for the face milling, and feed in this direction, and the depth is given towards this direction. But in case of peripheral milling, see the axes. So first, this is your feed axis, and this is your speed of motion or cutter or primary cutting motion axis, and this is your depth axis. So this is your depth axis. These are the three axes, but in case of here, the axes are somewhat different, so that's why these names are different. So in case of peripheral milling, cutter axis is parallel to the surface being machined. So this is for the peripheral milling. See here, this is the cutter axis and this is parallel to this surface, the machine surface or work surface. This is your machine surface. So when the cutter axis is parallel to the machine surface, at that time it is called peripheral milling. So cutting edges, cutting edge is on outside the periphery of the cutter. So the cutting edges are on the outside of the periphery of the cutter. And in case of face milling, the cutter axis, this is your cutter axis. This cutter axis is perpendicular to the machine surface. So when the cutter axis is perpendicular to the machine surface, at that time we have said that this is face milling. So here in case of face milling, cutting edges are on both the end and outside periphery of the cutter. Now we will see the different type of milling. First one is slab milling. Slab milling is the basic form of peripheral milling, in which the cutter width extend beyond the workpiece on both sides. So when the cutter width is extend beyond the workpiece from both sides, at that time what we will say, at that time it is called slab milling. So slab milling is nothing, it is a peripheral milling with in which the cutter width extend beyond the workpiece on the both sides. Now in case of slotting, it is also a type of peripheral milling. Slotting is also a type of peripheral milling, but in case of here the width of the cutter is less than the workpiece width and it creates a slot in the workpiece. So this is called slotting. Now in case of conventional milling is a type of face milling. Okay, conventional milling is a conventional face milling. In case of conventional face milling, see here, the cutter overhangs the workpiece on both sides. So that means this periphery of this cutter is more than the workpiece, and this is the conventional face milling. Now end milling is a type of face milling. End milling is a type of face milling where the cutter diameter is less than the workpiece width. So where the cutter diameter is less than the workpiece width. So it also creates a slot. So a slot is cut into the part. So a slot can be cut into the part. This is known as end milling. Now there is a type of milling that is called profile milling. Profile milling is also a type of face milling, but in this case, in profile milling, a specific profile can be cut out. So it is a form of so profile milling is a form of end milling, which the outside periphery of a flat part is cut. By using this profile milling, outside periphery of a part can be cut. This is profile milling. Next is pocket milling. This is another form of end milling. This is used to mill shallow pocket into the flat part. That means it is used to make a hole or a cavity inside the flat part. See here, inside the flat part, if we can make a cavity, and this is called pocket milling. Now there is surface contouring. So by using a ball nose cutter, it is a special type of cutter, ball nose cutter, which can be fed back and forth across the work in a curvilinear path as close at close interval to create three-dimensional surface form or three-dimensional contour. So by using ball nose cutter, when the three-dimensional contour is cut in a milling machine, that is known as your surface contouring. Next, here is the example of a horizontal knee and column type milling machine. In this milling machine, see here you can clearly see the movement, where the movement is there. This so first we will see about the part of a milling machine. A milling machine will consist of, first there is base, and this base is the foundation. After this base there is column, and in this column a overarm is fixed, and this overarm, in in a saddle there is one arbor. What is arbor? Arbor is the part where the cutter or milling cutter is fixed. This arbor can rotate. Along with the milling cutter. So this speed, this is your spindle speed, and this speed coming from this spindle speed N is coming from the motor which is placed inside the column. Here the motor is placed, and this motor rotates this cutter along with the arbor, and this is your work table. This work table is usually used for feed in X direction. In this direction, in this to and fro direction, this work table can move to create the feed, and this work table is placed in a saddle, and this saddle is fixed in a knee, and this knee can have two type of motion, that is in this direction to and fro motion can be possible in case of knee, and up and down motion of the knee can also be possible. But these two motion is not continuously possible while machining, but it can be fixed. It can be moved up and down, or to and fro in this side also, but not while machining. Before or after the machining, this movement can be done, and this movement are mainly useful to hold the job or to hold a larger job. This is our horizontal knee and column type milling machine. Now there is another type of the milling machine. This horizontal knee and column type milling machine. These milling machines are used to make do our peripheral milling. Now do our peripheral milling, or and now for face milling, vertical knee and column type machine is used. Here also we can see, here it is a base is here, the work of base is same. Here the column is here, and now only change here is the speed, or the motor is fixed in the head, inside this head, and this motor rotates the milling cutter, which is our face milling cutter, and this is our work table which is placed in the saddle, and this saddle is placed in the knee, and saddle can move in this direction to and fro direction, and this knee can move up and down direction, and the feed can be given into the work table, that is in X direction, that is our feed direction, to and fro motion in the feed direction that can be done. Okay, now the machining centers. What are the machining centers? Machining centers are nothing but they are highly automated machine tool capable of performing multiple machining operations under computer numeric control in one step with minimal human attention. So that is known as machining center. The typical operation can be done in a machining centers are milling and drilling. There are various they can be classified as the number of axis. They can be that means the number of movement axis they can have. So typical machining centers will have 3, 4 or 5 axis, and other features that we can have in the machining centers or on a CNC machine, that is automatic tool changing, pallet shuttles, and automatic work part positioning. This can be done. So these are the machining coordinate. First, x and y. X axis is our primary feed axis, y axis is our spindle axis, z axis is our spindle axis, y axis is our remaining axis, and a axis, a b c axis. A is the rotation, a is our rotation about x. This a is our rotation about x, which is not shown here, but this y is our in this direction. This is b is rotation about z direction, y direction, and c this is our rotation about z direction. Now this is the universal machining center, that is a CNC, which is highly automated and capable of multiple machining operation under computer control. See here in this inside here, this is your tool post. Here various kind of tool can be used, and this is your setup or monitoring unit, and you can have the workpiece. You can this machine is capable of multiple machining operation under computer control in a one step with minimal human attention. Now this is another CNC 4-axis turning center. Here the turning can be done, only the turning can be done. This is your 4-axis turning center, and here this is capable of turning and turning related operation, contour turning, automatic tool indexing under the computer control. Now mill turn center, where milling and turning can be done automatically. It is also highly automated machine tool that can perform turning, milling, drilling operation on the workpiece. The general configuration of a turning center can position a cylinder work part at a specific angle, so a rotating cutting tool can machine all the features into the outside surface of the part, and the conventional turning center cannot stop the work part at defined angular position and does not possess any rotating tool or spindle. So this is your turning center. So in the this is our operation of a mill turning center. So see here, the part is first this type of the part, when this type of the cylindrical part can be is our desired part. At that time, first see, by using the turning tool, turning operation is done. Then by using the milling cutter, this flat surface has been cut. Then by using drilling can be done, and after that a cut-off tool is used to cut off this part. So whole part can be done in a one center, that is your mill turn center, and this can be done by computer programming. So this is the operation of the turning center. Now we will see about another two type of the finishing operation. First one is shaping, second one is planing. So shaping and planing both are the similar operation, and both use single point cutting tool which is moved linearly relative to the workpiece. So what is the difference between this shaping and planing? The difference is nothing but the difference is in the term of motion. Okay, so in case of shaping, the feed motion, this is the cutting speed or primary motion is given to the tool, and that to and fro motion or reciprocating motion of the tool is our primary cutting motion in case of shaping, and the feed motion is given to the workpiece in case of shaping. But in case of planing and in case of shaping, the smaller material, smaller workpiece is used, is can be shaped, and but in case of planing the operation results the same, but in case of planing larger workpiece is used, larger workpiece can be planed, and in that case the motion can be given, your primary cutting motion is given to the workpiece. Okay, primary cutting motion is given to the workpiece. That means to and fro motion of the workpiece is your, or reciprocating motion of the workpiece is your speed motion or primary cutting motion, while the secondary cutting motion or feed motion is given to the tool. So that is the difference between shaping and planing. So in both of these cases, a straight flat surface can be created. These are also interrupted cutting, and which subjected to tool impact loading while entering the work. Both are the low cutting operation due to startup and stop motion, and usual tooling are usual cutting tool that are used in shaping and planing are single point cutting tool, that means single point high speed tool. So this is a shaper. So in case of shaper, the parts are, in case of shaper there is first base is the foundation, then after base there is column, and above the column a ram is fixed. This ram can move this to and fro, and this ram is moved to and fro, and this ram is connected to a mechanism that is called Whitworth quick return mechanism. So why quick return mechanism? Because in the forward step milling cutter cut the object, so we need more time, but in the return step there is no cutting, so that's why we just use quick return mechanism, so that the cutting tool can easily come to its original position, so that it can start the cutting again. So it is a interrupted cutting operation. It is not a fast or continuous cutting operation. So in the front side of the ram, the tool head is fixed, and in the tool head the cutting tool is fixed, and the feed is given to the work table by using cross rail, and so feed direction will be in this direction. This will be the direction of the feed, and this is the workpiece. Now for planing, for planer, see, this is a operation of planer. So here the primary cutting motion or to and fro motion is given to the workpiece, and to and fro motion is given to the workpiece or work table, and your feed is given to your tool, and that feed is given by using this cross rail, and column is used to move this cross rail up and down when needed. So that's it. There is another finishing operation that is known as broaching. Broaching is an operation in which by moving multiple tooth cutting tool linearly relative to the workpiece direction of the tool axis is known as broaching. It is a completely finishing operation. Very small amount of material is removed, but surface finish will be increased, and this is a typical broaching operation that is seen here. The feed motion and the primary cutting motion, both the motion is given to this work to the tool, and these are the depth of cut per tooth. Okay, so what are the advantage of broaching? Broaching has the advantage of good surface finish, close dimensional tolerance, variety of work shape that can be possible, and cutting tool that used in the broaching is called a broach, and that is that owe to the complicated and often custom shape geometry can be made by using broaching, and the tooling is very expensive. Now, internal broaching can also be performed in the internal surfaces of the hole. A starting hole must be present in the part, so that in that starting hole broach can be initiated. So these are the part, this part can be cut by internal broaching. Internal broaching. Now this part where the cross edge is there, this surface has been broached by using internal broaching tool. Sawing is nothing but it's a process to cut a narrow slit in a work by a tool consisting of series of narrowly placed teeth. That tool is called saw blade, and the typical function is to separate the work part into two pieces and cut off the unwanted portion of the part. This is sawing. So there are two various types of saw. First there is power saw, that is linearly reciprocating saw. In that power saw, see, the power drive is given to in these two direction, and the feed is given towards downwards direction, and this is your forward stroke, and this is return stroke, and the workpiece is in stationary. And there is band saw or vertical band saw, that is by using band saw, the saw blade is rotated inside the in the workpiece, and the feed is given to the workpiece. And by this band saw, this type of band saw you can see in woodwork technology. And this is your circular saw. This is also used for cutting the bar or beams of cutting the TMT bars. This type of the circular saw is used. So these are all about the machining and the finishing process and the CNCs. And I guess you have enjoyed this lecture, and you have clearly get the idea of the machining processes. Now from now on we will be discussing, from the next lecture we will be discussing about our welding processes. Okay, so thank you. I hope you enjoy this lecture, and if you have any problem regarding understanding, you may ask me in the live class session. Thank you very much.